Well, it's Tuesday, which means it's time to check in with our friends from the National Cutting Horse Association with The Cut. And no better person to bring in to talk to today around this time of year especially than our friend here, Rianna Storey, the Director of Youth at the NYCHA. And they have a very big month ahead of them. So tell us what's to come.
Starting Monday, July 22nd, we'll have the 2024 NYCHA Holy Cow Performance Horses Youth World Finals, along with our NYCHA Convention. And the 2024 NCHA Foundation Scholarship Cutting, all here held at the Will Rogers Coliseum in Fort Worth.
And we love to hear that here in our backyard. You're our neighbors here in Fort Worth, so we're excited to keep our eyes on all of those events. But there's a little bit deeper meaning, too, behind a lot of that's going on, is we're fostering this future generation of not just the sport of cutting, but the Western industry in general, and you guys are helping them with their future. So talk about the scholarships that are up for grabs this month.
Perfect. Over $145,000 will be given away next week, both in and out of the arena. As the director of our youth, it is very important to create and foster those relationships for those kids and contacts so they can grow up and be able to be successful in this industry if they so wish.
And what a good example to have in this position, in this role, leading all of these youth to their futures. But pretty cool. You just got back in town from Wyoming. You were at the National High School Finals, and you guys have a great partnership with the National High School Rodeo Association. So talk about what you guys are doing together to make sure that you guys are parallel in line helping these youth for their futures.
Yes, ma'am. So the NCHA went up to Rock Springs, Wyoming, and hosted the NCHA Cutting Clinic, thanks to the NCHA Foundation. Over 60 youth from around the country, as well as Canada and Australia, had the opportunity to work with both Josh King and Andy Sherrod, who are professionals within the cutting horse industry. We have a partnership of over 70 years strong with the National High School Rodeo Association, and cutting was one of the first disciplines within the High School Rodeo Association.
Well, I think that it's safe to say that you guys are serving a greater purpose all across the board, because it might be a niche little world here in the NCHA, but you guys really are fostering a generation of good humans for our world and our country, which we need more of than ever. So very neat to see that firsthand. And I want to hear from you and the special insight that you have. Talk about the future of generations of the Western industry that you get to see with your own eyes.
We're educating these kids that are going to be the future of our industry. As I say industry, the Western industry, further than the cutting pen. And it's very exciting to see these kids working hard. And I go back to both in and out of the arena with the essay contests, the speaking contest, to be in a position you're in. It's very exciting. They're big advocates for this industry.
Well, talk a little bit about your responsibilities in this role, because needless to say, you have a very full plate this month, but year round. So give us a glimpse of what your job is like.
So as the director, again, of our youth, it is my responsibility to fundraise for our youth program, as well as to foster and create programs. We've got the second annual NYCHA Life After the Arena, which is a professional seminar coming up next week as well for the kids. And then create events down the road for these kids to have opportunities and make memories with both their families and horses.
Now, I want to back up into a big picture perspective, because we've been really hitting the nail on the head of how wonderful of a cause this serves, you serving in this role. But I want to talk a little bit about how it's impacted you in your life. I'm sure this has to be such a rewarding job.
Yes, ma'am. I've been alongside the barn and in the barn aisle since I was a wee baby, in these kids' shoes, and every day I try and tell them, I was in your shoes. Take advantages of the opportunities and the contacts that you'll make along the way, because you never know where it may take you.
So beautiful. I'm so glad we got to talk to you today. Thank you for taking the time to come in and chat with us. This is Rianna Storey, beautiful inside and out, very talented woman, and there's a good reason that she's sitting in this capacity, and we're excited to see what's to come this month for the NYCHA.